Has Apple finally cracked the code to deliver the people's stamp? Let's find out. The iPhone 11 LCD screen gets pretty bright at 624 nits, which is good under direct sunlight. The left hand side of the phone has the alert slider and the volume rockers. Slide to turn the silent mode on and turn it back off. You can see the Xiaomi inspired animation on the volume HUD there. The right hand side has the power button and long press to call Siri, and probably the most weird way to turn your phone off. Volume rocker plus Siri. Come on, Apple. The biggest change from the previous generation phones to this was the IP ratings. iPhone 11 now can withstand up to 2 meters of water for 30 minutes, which in turn translates to IP68. With iOS 13, Apple has made the Face ID 30% faster, which is really very evident when you use it. It works almost all the time and is very secure. You can use the same to secure your banking transactions as well, which is a fun feature to use in fact. Let's get into the heart of the phone, the operating system. With iOS 13, I feel that Apple is now listening to its end user very carefully. You can see with the overall responsiveness of the operating system as well. Finally, you can now toggle your Wi-Fi and Bluetooth radios from the control center directly. Just force touch on it and voila, you can connect to your network. Finally. With iOS 13, Apple released the much awaited dark mode. The dark mode on the iPhone 11 would look a bit grayish because of the LCD and the lower resolution, but that's absolutely fine. The aesthetics of the operating systems is really good. The translucent widget page which you get when you swipe on the left is really eye-pleasing. The universal search bar is really a handy feature and Apple does a very good job at implementing it. The operating system now is moved to the gesture-based navigation. Throw anything at this operating system and it responds really very fast. The navigation-based app switching as well is really buttery smooth. Apple replaced the 3D touch with haptic feedback. Now long press on any of the icons you get a pop-up based contextual menu, which is really a neat feature to have. For example, let's consider a quick buzz. Long press on the icon to have a peek of the latest score. Handy. With iOS 13, Apple introduced swipe to type feature on its keyboard. Though Apple is really late in this game, it has done a great job at it. It also introduced few gesture-based text editing options. You can use the multi-finger gestures to copy, paste, undo and redo the text. Really productive feature from Apple. Really helps when you're typing out those long mails. During WWDC, Apple said that the iPhone 11 battery backup has been improved a lot. The 3310 mAh battery on the iPhone 11 is enough to last a complete day. After rigorous use and media consumption, you will still end up with 30% of battery remaining, which is good. Apple also does a great job at giving you insight on what application is consuming your battery. Apple also has a dedicated section called a screen time, which will tell the screen on time of your phone, and also few features such as downtime, which is very similar to the digital well-being feature of our Android, wherein you can lock down your phone for a certain amount of time. In the screen time, you can also get much more in-depth analysis of how exactly you're using your phone. It can tell you how many times you've picked up the phone today, how many notifications are you getting, and which application is sending you the most notification. Apple introduced Apple Arcade, a 99 rupees per month game subscription wherein you can play a few selected titles on your iPhone. Let me know in the comment section below if you want me to cover this in depth in an upcoming video. The combination of 813 and the 4GB RAM on the iPhone 11 will give you a great performance while gaming. A game like PUBG auto sets itself for high graphic mode on the iPhone 11. The screen, the A13 Bionic chip and the stereo speakers on the iPhone 11 will give you an immersive experience while you are gaming. You have to pardon me for the rusty PUBG skills which I have on this video. Not sure how much justice the video recording is doing, but the responsiveness of the game is really smooth. The sub 1080p screen on the iPhone 11 should not hinder your multimedia viewing experience. You should be able to scroll through the Instagram feeds very smoothly. Even the YouTube app on the iOS tricks you to believe that you are playing a 1080p video wherein you are actually pushing just more pixels than 720p. Overall, the experience is quite good. Along with the stereo speakers, you should have an immersive viewing experience. Apple also introduced its streaming service, the Apple TV Plus, which has few interesting titles to offer. Apple is now providing the service for free of cost for a year if you buy any new Apple products now. Apple is planning to release this on 1st of November. Let me know if you want me to cover this as well. The biggest differentiator from previous gen iPhones to iPhone 11 are the dual camera setup on the iPhone 11. The 12MP ultra wide and wide lens gives you a super sharp image every time. Finally, Apple has a worthy competitor to Google Pixel. The dynamic range of the images captured from iPhone 11 are too good. The Smart HDR and the introduction of Deep Fusion only further improves the camera quality. A detailed and dedicated video on the camera review and in-depth comparison with Google's Pixel is in works. Another important feature introduced by Apple in the iPhone 11 series is the night sight. The night sight on the iPhone turns on automatically when it feels the light around you is not enough. iPhone does retain the details of the image, but once you zoom in, you will also find that there is noise in it. As seen in the above comparison, it tends to brighten up the scene a bit. During night sight, the exposure will be automatically set depending on the scene, but it also allows you to increase the same if you want a better picture. Shooting video on iPhone is a pleasure. iPhone has been the undisputed winner when it comes to video. It could be slow motion or the newly introduced slow-fi, in other words, slow motion video using your front camera. Apple also introduced 4K recording using your front camera, which is a great feature. It also has a neat pre-cut sleeve. If you want to switch from a still photo to a video shooting mode, all you have to do is press and hold the shutter button and slide up to lock it in the video mode. The iPhone 11 can record up to 4K at 60 fps on the wide lens and 4K at 30 fps on the ultra wide. The transition between wide and the ultra wide during video shooting is absolutely seamless. It feels like you're shooting on a professional camera, in fact. Now to the big question, should you buy it? My answer is yes. Yes, if you are coming from an older iPhone such as iPhone 6, 7, 8 up till X. Yes, if you are going to shift from Android to iOS, this phone should be your entry point into the Apple ecosystem. Why do I suggest this? Let's quickly evaluate. The iPhone 11 has a great all-day battery. This is the best camera on an iPhone, period. The aesthetics on an iPhone is always eye-pleasing, and the iPhones are always durable and will always stand the test of time. Apple always takes care of its older device and it updates the operating system for at least 4 years. The iPhone 11 has wireless charging, which is a good to have feature. With all the features stated above, iPhone 11 is definitely value for money. You won't regret the decision on buying an iPhone 11. In Indian market, iPhones are the one which will lead you the best probable resale value. And coming to the con of this iPhone, I feel the screen is the only letdown. With this, we come to the end of this video. Let me know your questions and feedback in the comment section below. And do not forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Talk to you guys in the next one. Bye bye.